Some of the upgrades that are done in the van are just standard ones, and other upgrades have been really great. Now, power I'm using. One of the ones that you probably haven't seen on previous videos is my computer screen here to do all my editing. But I'm going to briefly run through the battery system. Now, I know there's rules and regulations now going with the battery systems, and I'm looking at upgrading to make it compliant in that sense. But this was all put in before the compliance come in. And so under my belief of the law that it can stay the way it is until I do that. But it is all separated. So I have solar on the roof running through a solar charger, and I have DC to DC coming from the car through a separate charger. And I also have external solar that I can plug in that comes through the other charger as well. So I've got a full 40 amps going through one and a full 40 amps going through the other, which works really, really well. But on just little upgrades since then, just grab these fusion lock things. Everyone's got them all over the net. Every YouTuber's using them. For the older vans, they're not as good as they are for the newer vans. And the reason I say this porous sort of material doesn't work really well with them. But where you can use them on tiles and flat surfaces and stuff like that, they are really, really good. So, for instance, so I've put them here over the stove just to hold my odds and ends, and they live there permanently and never come off. I also have no need for one in the bathroom here, but I do have one on the back wall there, and that also never comes off. But it needs to be on a flush surface. So it can't be on this porous type material. It doesn't work that way. But let me go through and show you now. So my computer tucks away here. Just a quick one. My little LED light here that plugs into the USB port just for some background light is really cool. So you all know that I've got the Sirocco fans. I put them in. They're really good. The air conditioner, the old air conditioner still works off the battery system if I need to, but it's perfect. And I also I've put a cup over it there, but I also do have internal and external security on this van. So this is where my screen lives, and it just basically comes and spins around here. So I can edit off the table here if I want, or if I get set up here, this little table comes out. So I've got this little table here that I've put on, and I'll get a wider view of that, so I can sit on the bed and edit this way. So I'm looking down the van, so to speak. Still have the TV on this side, but the TV can then take outside on the summer nights. You'll see here on the battery system, so I've got the Kick-Ass 3000 watt inverter on the left hand side there. It switches from power, so every power point in the van actually works off that if I switch it over. I've got manual switchover and automatic switchover. I've got a 40 amp MPPT controller, which runs off the solar on the roof, which I'll show you some footage of that. And I have a Kick-Ass 40 amp DC to DC that runs the external plug-in solar panel, which lives under the bed there, plus it runs voltage from the car as well. I've got two 280 amp FPV lithium batteries there. They work superbly, all running through the shunt and everything here. Now, you'll see that under current laws, that probably doesn't live up to specs, and I'm going to move all of that later on. But at the moment, that was all put in well before the new laws come in. So that all works wirelessly through Starlink. So inside the van is really comfortable. The other upgrade that I did to the van is I took the three-way fridge out. And believe it or not, the King's fridge is one that fitted perfectly in the hole without cutting any holes or anything, just fitted in perfect, and it's just running off the battery system. It never runs off 240 volt, obviously. So with the batteries and the way that I've got it all set up, this van, I've been off grid for a maximum sort of 2 weeks in cloudy weather and haven't needed to charge anything. So 2 weeks is good enough for me. I run out of water before I run out of power. So yeah, that's the inside of the van. We will take you out and show you some outside, but I can't stress, if you need some of these, go to Bunnings. Fusion locks, they're awesome. Oh, and things I can't live without, obviously coffee machine. Coffee machine is something I can't live without. And also my soda stream. So it's just so much easier. I'll spin this around here. When I want to have a nice scotch or a Shivers or anything like that, it works really, really well to be able to just have, you know, even some carbonated water, or, you know, Pepsi does a sugar-free one, so yeah, no calories in that. I'm loving that. So yes, but that's the inside of the van. What can I say? It might be 20 plus years old, nearly 30 years old actually. It's still in immaculate condition on the inside. A few little upgrades, and yeah, really loving it. So another upgrade to the van was this clothesline. I think I got that off Trip in a Van years ago, so if I can find the footage I'll link it in how I did it, but the clothesline, having it there all the time is just absolutely brilliant. On the front, one of the key things that I really love is the Blackjack jack. Yeah, that's the word. So the Blackjack jack works really well. But I use the other port that the jockey wheel used to go on to hold the barbecue here. And I'll show you my tools inside the toolbox. So yes, for editing, my little desk here becomes my haven. I'm comfy. I can do all of my editing on this. I've actually got both screens hooked up. So this screen and that screen talk to each other. So if I'm editing here, I'm going to throw a video, watch it over there, or I can have some background music. Either way, it works really well. My son did also put USB ports into nearly every PowerPoint. So I have USB anywhere I want to charge stuff throughout the day. With two 280 amp hour batteries, I've got plenty. So I just switch it over, got all that done. Unlimited power, I think. Realistically, I haven't got a problem with the power. I stayed with gas for the stove and for the barbecue and the hot water. So you'll see in the footage out the front, I'll show you there. So I've got all my tools set up on the top, but I've got 2 spare gas bottles. I just want to get rid of the gas. As I said, living in the caravan, didn't want to waste it, so I'm using those gas bottles up, then I'll get rid of them. But I downgraded the gas from the 9 kilos to the 4.5 kilos, and that is awesome for just doing my water and just boiling the water for the showers, and it's also great for my cooking. I'm not frightened of having a gas van. I don't have to have full power, but that just leaves the power to do stuff that I want. I run to my Starlink. I don't turn my Starlink off. I don't need to. It solar puts in enough to cover Starlink all day and all night. It's always topping back up. I use a coffee machine off grid. I get about 5 hours out of the aircon of a night time if I need to. In an afternoon, I could put it on and replenish it during the day. But in general, I don't run the aircon off the battery system. So, but yeah, just finishing editing this one up. I'll get this video out. As I said, it's just a quick update on the caravan, and we'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and help us out, because obviously I've got 12-month countdown. I want to go around Australia, and if you guys can help by subscribing, that would be awesome.